Isaiah 54, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Tell yourself Deuteronomy 28, I am the head and not the tail. Tell yourself Psalm 18, the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. Tell yourself Psalm 20, some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord. Tell yourself Romans 8:37, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Tell yourself, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Anaya. If you're new here, before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to become part of the gang. All you gotta do is subscribe. Oh, and click that bell down below so you know when I post. If I post. Let's get started. So before we move any further with this video, I really want to say why I'm doing this video. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I feel as though I want kids, I would say, or people my age to watch this, because we are the future. And yeah, we're going to be taking care of this world. So we really need to be aware of this, and we're going to do a video on a very sensitive topic, and basically it's called racism. So you guys might ask, oh my god, what is racism? So this is racism. I'll put it up, so you can read it. That's like the online version, like the literal version, the smart people version for racism. In my own words, well, like I dumbed it down, I said that racism is basically a person degrading one race or ethnicity or a nationality because they believe that theirs is superior, and that's basic, or better than, I would say, or better than. So that's my take on racism. I have experienced racism. I've had a personal experience with racism. One of them, I believe, was when I was walking my dog in my neighborhood, and this lady, she's driving, and she pulls over, and she rolls down her window, and she says, "Excuse me, do you know where you are?" And I said, yes, I believe I know where I am. I live around here. And she was like, well, if you need help finding your way back home, just let me know. And I'm like, okay. And I go home, and I walk home, and I'm asking my mom and my dad, I'm like, is it just me, or do I, like, but I feel some type of way. And basically, and they was telling me, Anaya, you've just been racially profiled. And I was like, wow, that's the feeling. And I just felt very unwanted. I felt like I did not belong. And I feel like no one, no kid, no child, no one in general should experience that, because that is a horrible feeling. And also, you guys might ask, so now how can this whole thing be prevented? How can racism be prevented? Well, to be honest, I feel as though racism could possibly be prevented if we all just start seeing people for who they are and not what they are. I think I just said something. Who they are and not what they are. Like, I feel like people should literally sit down and take time to figure out a person, get to know a person, understand a person. Then they could judge them or perceive them the way they want, rather than looking at them and going ahead and saying, oh, nope, don't mess with that person. Like, that's kind of wow to me. That's how I feel like it can be prevented. And with all of this going on, I feel like you're living under a rock if you don't know what's going on in the world today. There's a lot of protesting, a lot of rioting, a lot of looting, all of this. And basically, I feel it's because people have had enough. People of all types of races have had enough of police brutality. A lot of people are fighting for George Floyd. He was a wonderful, wonderful man, and I feel as though he should not have experienced what he had experienced. He should not have died the way he did die, and that was really sad. And also people fighting for Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud, and Tony McDade, and a lot of other people who have experienced police brutality. And it is so mind-blowing how people can sit and devote and commit to protect us, protect all people, and yet when it's time to do their job, they start to feel threatened or scared for their lives. And my thing is, how can you be scared of an unarmed person, of a person that is complying with you, of a person who's cooperating with you? How can you be scared and threatened by that type of person? No, what I really think you're scared of their color. And that's just what I say. And also racism comes in a lot of forms. The big form that a lot of people think is like the ultimate way to be racist is saying the N-word. And I don't technically think that that's the only way you can be racist. But while we're on this subject, I feel as though the N-word should not be said by anyone, because it is not a word that should be used lightly. It should not be used the way that it is being used today. I feel as though the N-word was to degrade a slave. It was what the masters call their slaves, and that is a very degrading word. And I feel like although you might be African American, still, like I don't even say it. Like I try my best not to say it, because it's not a word I wouldn't even want to, like, why? I feel like, why would a person have a reason to say that word? Like, there's like it's like you really don't have a reason to say that word. So it's like, just don't say it. And also, like I was saying, that's not the only way to be racist. There's things called microaggressions, and basically I'm gonna dumb it down for you. Microaggressions are basically those little slick comments people say, those little tiny things that people say, and yet it is I was on my school bus one day, and this guy, a guy sitting behind me, he was like all the way in the back, he was like, Anaya, do you need what did he say? He said, do you need a condom? I know your people are known for not using those. And it was just like, what? Like, I was like, wait a minute. I was so in shock, because it was like, what? Like, how could someone think that way? But anywho, nevertheless, back to the subject. That was a microaggression. Also, people might feel as though they have the right to empathize with me or sympathize with me, one of those words, to try to relate to me because they have 0.0%, like they have 0.8% of African American in their family, or oh, my great grandfather, he was black, or and it's kind of like, at the end of the day, do you have to worry about a cop when you're getting pulled over? Do you have to worry about a white person in general to see if they're going to treat you any different? Do you? And it's not for me to sound ignorant, but at the end of the day, they look at your skin tone, the pigment of your skin, and you can, I'm telling you, like, people out there, they have African American in them, but they don't look African American. I want to address this for a lot of ignorant people out there, because I know it's going to be some of you that is watching this. You might say, well, one person literally slid into my DMs was like, oh my God, a lot of people are just over the top with this stuff. White people die almost every day. More white people are dying out here. And once a black person dies, it's the end of the world. Well, no. When a black person dies by police brutality, especially when they're complying, that is when it's the end of the world, especially now, because we've had enough of it. There's multiple cases, especially when they are getting away with it. That's when we have the problem, when they're getting away with it. So I'm just gonna spit some facts right here, so I want you to think about it, all right? So, since 2019, less than a year ago, since 2019, there has been 328.2 million people documented in the United States. Whites / Caucasians are roughly 73 to 85% of that 328.2 million people. So when you do your math, yes, Caucasians are going to be dying more because there's more of them. But it just so happens that 15% of the black people, most of them are dying because of police brutality, and that is something that is not okay. And we just want justice. That's all we want. I want to say every voice matters, you know. Every single one of your voices matter. It doesn't matter if you're 9 years old, 19 years old, 29 years old, 59 years old. Your voice matters. You have an opinion, and I hope you want equality the same as much as black people do. Because we've had civil rights over 50 years ago, and still no equality. And that is wow. For 50 years we were given it, but yet we didn't have it. If that makes sense. Like by law we were given it, but we didn't have it. We still weren't treated as though we were equal. And we still aren't being treated as though we are equal. And that is why we are doing what we're doing now, because at the end of the day, we've had enough. And I hope you guys can see this. I really do hope it. And also, I peep the quiet ones. Like, I really do. We all peep the quiet ones. The ones that are sitting here and being so quiet and not saying anything. It's like, wow. You know, like, wow. And I feel as though a lot of people, I'm not gonna say we, but a lot of people are so vocal about all this looting, all this rioting, this unpeaceful protesting, and how people are going in the stores and taking from people and da this and da that, but yet they have not said anything about the murders of, they haven't said one word about a police killing someone and getting away with it. They have not, and that is what is so wow. Like it's very like wow to me. So I do have a message for my beautiful black people. I want you guys to hear this, each and every single one of you that is listening or watching my video. I want to say that although we did not choose this race, although we did not choose this ethnicity, this color of our skin, I really want us to cherish it, because at the end of the day, our melanin is so authentic. It is so mesmeric. Is that a word? It is so beautiful. It is so strong. It is so unexplainable. We need to stick together. We really do need to stick together, especially in times like this. I really do promise from the bottom of my heart to love each and every single one of you, especially when no one else will. And I hope that one day our ancestors' dreams come true, and that we will be judged off the content of our character and not the pigment of our skin. I also want to say that I felt as though this video for me needed to happen, because I've been wanting to do this video ever since the whole TikTok thing went down. I'm gonna insert the clip here, but if you guys don't know what happened, that's what happened. I really wanted to do it since then, but I didn't want to just come on here and just say how I felt and not like provide some facts or not give more detail or more intel on it. And I feel like now would be a great time to do it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Had a knife. So much hatred in this world, tell me when it's gonna stop. Why we gotta bring each other down to feel on top? We could really change the game if we came together. Pretty gotta touch our hearts to change for the better. Too many mothers crying.